Good morning, everyone. So, our topic this morning is innocence. In my short couple sentences that I put in the email, I posed a question or a couple questions. What does it mean to be innocent? And how can we be innocent in a world that's really messy? And how can we be innocent when we come into contact with our own messiness? That's quite a question, isn't it? And I want to give a short reflection on this based on the meaning of the word. So I was Googling around, looking at various definitions, and I was struck by a definition and its comparison to the etymology of the word. And I think that this can give us a key, a foothold into what we're being called to in restoring ourselves to innocence. First of all, I'll read the definition. An innocent person lacks guile. They take things at face value and don't know how to deceive others. They trust others because they haven't yet learned that people might harm them. They haven't been corrupted yet with human weaknesses like greed or lust. And there's some truth there, isn't it? In fact, I think I used the word childlike in relation to innocence. And oftentimes, when we look at children, we feel their innocence, and it touches a part in us that brings us great joy. I believe we're touching our own innocence there. And our hope for our children is that they will not be tainted and jaded and corrupted by the way humans tend to be as they grow. All the shadow sides that come out, all the insecurities that lead towards behavior that's not innocent. So there is some truth there. But if we stopped there, we would be putting our innocence completely in the hands of what's outside of ourselves. And then we could excuse away our challenge at becoming innocent because of all the jadedness we have experienced in life. So I'm jaded because the world is jaded. And there could be truth there too, right? Oftentimes, I work with a lot of people who are healing their hearts, and oftentimes their hearts are feeling wound and pain because crappy things have happened, messy things have happened. It is a response, a desire to shield the heart, to defend the heart from further harm. That's very natural. And yet, divinity, consciousness, wants us to realize the innocence of eternity in the midst of this messiness. Doesn't ask us to excuse it away, doesn't ask us to condone it within ourselves or outside, but it does ask us to come to the restoration of our innocence. The origin, it's not that long that the word has been around, because the earliest traces of it have been to Latin, which is a little bit more recent than some of the other languages. And the beginning of the word means to cause no harm. In means not, and nocere, to hurt, to not hurt. So to be innocent is not to be naive. To be innocent is to become a human being that causes no harm. That causes no harm to self, that causes no harm outside of self. So that's our call. And while we're in a world that we're going to be affected by, we're going to be in situations that cause us sadness or cause us pain or make us want to shut our heart. It is within that very construct that we have the compelling, challenging, all-consuming invitation to step into the innocence of our being. It's interesting because here I am, I'm leaving the monastery this morning, and I didn't get a chance to spend private time with the Rinpoche this time, but I did last time. He actually initiated uh, us taking a walk, and we spoke like monastics, and it was so delightful. It it is a way I like to commune and speak that I rarely get to have. It was like we were two 8-year-old kids walking along, talking, and there was a lightness and a life-giving quality to it. And we were able to spend the evening in innocence. The things that tickled us, the nature of our conversation, even talking deeply about some things, the deepness had not an analytic processing heaviness to it, but rather a light, subtle way of penetrating. And we can each come to that kind of communication, but it takes being undone in the ways we want to have control over things and mastery over things. It takes a, a being divested of the false lessons we've been taught by family, by culture, by society of what it means to be a human being who's grown up. And it's quite possible to be a mature human being and be as innocent as a child. So our meditation this morning is going to be a focus upon that. I would like to read a couple lines from Daniel Ladinsky's translation of the Grail by Teresa of Avila, just to incite some of the quality of what we're shooting for this morning. They are like shy young school kids, time and space, before the woman and the man who are intimate with God. The realized soul can play with this universe the way a child can play with a ball. I want you to grab hold of that image and see if after our devotional today, you can walk the day and see if you can be in the universe just as a child would be playing with a ball. Think about when you were a child. We had 4 square balls on my cul-de-sac, and we did all sorts of fun things with those, bouncing it as high as you could bounce it, playing 4 square, playing dodgeball, playing spinning games. See if you can bring that home, that playfulness, with every single thing in your life today, and even with yourself, in the trust and the knowing that you're not failing to be responsible, but you're actually opening up to be responsible in a way that is much more liberating. Towards the end of this poem, Teresa says, "We fear dying till we know the truth of ourselves." This process of becoming innocent is a death to self. We fear dying till we know the truth of ourselves. The seams on my body are torn. I have stepped from that region of me that did not love all the time. So I invite you to close your eyes. And the body of this meditation is going to be a simple chant from the book of Jeremiah in the Lamentations. It's in Latin. And what it is it's a chant that's chanted through the night between the Last Supper on Holy Thursday, and Good Friday before the crucifixion. And so let the chant be a presence of the divine walking with you, a realization that in this divestment of self, in this restoration of innocence, that you never walk alone in that. And if you will, let the light of the chant move into every cell or excite outwards from every cell. Sense or imagine that every single cell, even all the cells in your brain that can be so intense, is being alighted through the movement and the integrity of this chant. De lamentazione, Jeremiae profete, cogitavi Dominus dissipare murum, Filii Sion, te tendit funiculum suum, et non avertit manum suam a petitione. Luxit quae ante murale, et moris pariter dissipat patus est. De fixe sunt in terra porteus, perdidit et contrivit vectes eius, regem eius et principes eius in gentibus. Non est les, et profete eius non invenerunt, visionem ad Domino. Sederunt in terra, conticuerunt sines Filii Sion, conspesserunt cinere capita sua, ac cincti sunt cilici, abiecerunt in terram capita sua, Virgines Jerusalem. Devecerum pre lacrimis oculi mei, conturbata sunt viscera mea, effusum est in terra ie cor meum, super contritione, Filii populi mei, cum deficerunt pavulus et lactens, in plateis opidi. Jerusalem, Jerusalem, convertere ad Dominum Deum tuum. May we today be as wise as serpents and as innocent as doves. May we, when we're playing in this sandbox of life and we drop our shovel, simply pick it up and start building again. May we, in this playground, when we fall off a swing, simply get back up and jump back on the swing. May we, when we're playing tag with other human beings and we try to run fast, but we get tagged, simply be the one who tags next. It is that simple. May we grow to be the embodiment of consciousness in such a way that we do no harm to ourselves or others. With that, I invite you to open your eyes. I look forward to walking with you in this meditation today. Blessings, my friends.